Because I've got a good one to finish off the evening that is not too long and should be good to close things out. Ah, okay. Well, then this might be good because we are going to do ballistic high speed, det cord versus a ballistic torso in ultra slow motion. And this intrigued me because immediately what I thought of is I thought of an episode of NCIS where they were dealing with the mob, and the climax of that episode was Gibbs had the mobster's son, and they were in like a standoff, and Gibbs basically wrapped det cord around the mobster's son, and he was holding the dead man switch, and he showed off what det cord can do because he had pre-wrapped det cord around a tree behind them and detonated it. And basically told the mobster, back the fuck off, your son's going to jail because he did a crime. And the mobster 100% backed the fuck off. And said, okay, Falcon, see you tomorrow. And I saw this ballistic high speed and immediately thought of that episode, and I went, I must watch this episode to see how det cord really will work when used on a torso. So, let's do this.
As you guys have seen on this channel, we have blown up guns before.
This time, I think it's gonna go away. What happens if you put det cord down the barrel of a gun? The forbidden Twizzler.
What? They're doing this too? Okay.
During our trip out here with Tread from
This should be
Washington
interesting.
County Machine Guns, we're gonna be exploring some det cord again. If you didn't see our episodes last year, do yourself a favor, go watch those. We did some really interesting stuff. We explored anywhere from 50 grain all the way up to, I think we hit 100 grain at one point. So today, we've got a really interesting experiment, which is what happens if you put det cord down the barrel of a firearm.
I wasn't quite sure 50 grain was gonna do it, so Tread advised.
I'm really interested, especially with the torso, because I've always heard that with det cord, like, I've heard that, like, people in the military, like, in older, like, 20 some odd years ago or so, that they would use, like, if they needed to cut down big trees, that they would literally wrap det cord around a tree trunk and detonate the det cord, and that's how they would, like, cut trees really easily, so just use det cord, and it'll cut right through them. So, I'm really curious to see what this is going to do. Since Vietnam? Yeah. Okay, so even further back than I was made to believe. So that's another reason why I went to see this, is I've heard these stories about using det cord to basically cut trees down. And I want to see how effective this is.
Advised me to just braid 3 of them together to make 150
It seems to be that, yes, but they are doing it on torso.
This 12 gauge.
If you remember when we wrapped det cord around a body, it wasn't the most exciting thing in terms of damaging the body.
Right.
It was cool footage, but we're gonna one up that. We're gonna wrap 400 grain.
And that's surprising.
Damaging the body. Right. It was cool footage.
I'm sorry I missed this video, but wow, that's, yeah. You've got some, like, it cut into it, sure, but that's less damage than I would have expected for det cord. Huh.
Footage, but we're gonna one up that. We're gonna wrap 400 grain around this torso right here. Should cut him in half, right?
Oh, easily.
Easily?
Easily.
Sweet. And
Oh,
again,
that's
we've
what
got
I'm
the
looking
Team
for.
7510 demoing that from Vision Research, so thanks again to them for sending that out. I think we're ready to wire stuff up. What do you think?
I think so.
All right, let's get to it.
Let's do it.
All right, since we got the really fast cameras out,
It's
and
hot.
this gun's pretty much only purpose is for, well, this.
See, my father, former UDT, among other things, talked about clearing a pipe for a runway. They dug a little bit and wrapped det cord around the pipe. It cut that pipe clean off below the surface of the ground, set the upper part flying. Was it the 400 grain like they were just talking about using hairpin? Because they're talking about the 400 grain's going to cut the torso in half. Nah.
So we're gonna get some nice, exquisite muzzle exits to at least put it to some good firearm use, and then this is going right down the barrel.
Wow. That is cool seeing that in slow motion. Oh wow. That's neat.
Has this ever been done before?
I don't know.
I have never seen this.
What we're hoping for is we'll get our pop. They should immediately sympathetically detonate, and all three should start traveling.
That's so cool.
And I want like a banana peel.
Yeah?
But
Bugs Bunny
I don't
effect,
know.
baby.
There's
Let's
a chance
fucking
it
go.
just shatters into shrapnel.
I know, which could also be cool, but
What if it just balloons it to twice the size?
that would be nuts.
Then we could put 400 in.
That'd be like some Looney Tunes, like when someone sticks their finger in a barrel.
Yeah,
That's
we're
what I
shooting
want.
almost
I
1
want a
million
Looney
frames per
Tunes
second right
effect.
now.
Are we really?
Yeah, we're like 900,000. Yeah, so this will be good.
All right,
Let's wire this up.
let's do it. Fire in the hole! 3,
Okay.
2, 1.
Cool.
All right, let's get some exposure from that shot.
Good meat. Oh, that's awesome. Detonation velocity, 26,400 feet per second, 5 miles per second, 8,000 meters per second. Wow. Yeah, Brevin, you think? That
Okay,
looks
cameras are
so
good. Fire in
cool.
the hole!
Here we
In
go.
3, 2, 1. I think we
Jesus.
blew it like entirely apart.
Good God.
Did I jump scare you?
Yes, you did, Charlie. Please don't do that again. I was so focused. Yeah, I think maybe a three-strand braid might have been a little too much. That's... Oh, die. I wonder how much detail we're gonna get with that explosion.
What is this? Is that the magazine?
That's what used to be the magazine anyway.
It's just gone.
So we have
Jesus.
a Chevron stock for sale.
Yeah.
Or whatever this thing's
That's
called.
a weapon. You could stab someone with that.
Oh.
Yeah?
It's your bolt.
It's the carrier.
Yeah.
Oh,
We got
God.
that. We've got a trigger pack.
Yeah.
Call it a parts kit.
Just
I'm selling a 12-gauge parts kit.
pieces.
If anybody's in the market, there's some
Is there any of the actual barrel or is it just the magazine tube?
here.
Ooh, we got something.
Still pretty hot. Warning, read instruction and safety manual before using firearm. Well, no wonder it blew up. I didn't
Yeah,
read the
I mean-
manual. And then this.
Now, I think the bulk carrier was still intact because let's see, hang on, let me think. The bulk carrier was probably still intact because the bolt was open. So the bolt was retracted back and the det cord wasn't, hang on, 352. So if you notice, the bolt is back. So the bolt is back here. You've only got the tip of the det cord right here. So the primary explosion is right here, which blasted all this apart. And yeah, it blew apart the housing. But the bolt was back here. It wasn't taking the full brunt of the explosion. And I'm guessing that's why the bulk carrier probably, the bulk carrier stayed remarkably intact. It's like, basically all the explosive expansion was in the barrel. And like the pump and the handguard and everything shattered probably because of the construction materials. But this took all of it, and I think that's why the gas tube stayed largely intact too. Is the gas tube just got ejected away from... It just ejected it away from the site.
It blew up. I didn't read the manual. And then this looks
Yeah,
like
undoubtedly,
the
Revit.
part
Undoubtedly.
Oh, no.
that goes
That's so
on
cool.
that.
Did everything else just go away?
Kinda. I mean, we obviously didn't disintegrate it, but did we just blow it into like tiny little pieces?
I don't know. There's high speed that'll tell us.
Whatever math tread does, we got to start halving it.
The only thing I got to say is they don't make them like they used to.
That's true.
This was like a $150 Walmart.
It was literally the
shotgun.
cheapest shotgun we could get. That's kind of
Yes.
cool though. This is the magazine tube underneath the.
Machinist, are you using Armageddon logic? Are you using the Billy Bob Thornton Armageddon logic? I approve, by the way. I do approve.
Barrel.
If you don't quite know what the pieces you're picking up are, you can easily find out at sdi.edu. If you want to get your start in gunsmithing, I love SDI, but you're not putting this one back together. SDI.edu, there'll be a link in the description below.
We need to watch the
I
high
know
speed,
it is,
see what really
Machinist.
happened.
I
Yeah,
know.
100%.
It's just he
Ready
used
to
that
see a
exact
shotgun go
example.
bye-bye?
100%, yeah. I have a couple other ideas on how to do this, but when you're with tread, you got to throw det cord in
That's
it.
true. What? What?
Oh,
Hold on.
yeah, please.
Whoa.
Chat, am I crazy? Or did the barrel vaporize? I think the barrel vaporized. Holy shit. I don't think that's a shatter. Like, look at this right here. That? Holy crap. Well, okay, the honeycombs is the lens. That is from the brightness of the explosion. So this honeycombing you're seeing right here is lens refraction. No, that's what I'm talking about. All the honeycombing you're seeing, like this is lens. Like, unless you're talking about right here, unless you're talking about that. If you're talking about this honeycombing, yeah, I see what you're saying there with this right here. That's the but then it just, like, after that first bit, it just opened the floodgates. And the whole thing just fucking vaporized.
Whoa, look. So you know on the end of some shotguns, they have the vent holes right at the end of the barrel?
Yeah.
It's creating some.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't think this one
Yeah,
had
oh,
it.
that's what
No.
you saw,
Does
Revin.
now.
Oh no.
Gosh.
It didn't banana peel, I'm sorry.
There's no peel left.
It converted the metal to gas. It vaporized the metal.
Yeah.
I think 50 would have been fine.
Maybe. Look how fast that is.
Wow.
That almost looks like a muzzle exit. And then before you know it, it's already down here. This is almost 1 million frames
Jesus.
per second.
That's fast.
That's incredible. And Revin, we ain't done.
While destroying guns is so much fun, there's also another part of being a firearm owner that is essential, and that is
Well, Fishy, the 9,000 frames per second is so dark because I think it's because the camera speed is like so that the shutter speed is so fast. They have to dial in the f-stop, or not the f-stop, the aperture. The aperture has to get really tight because the f-stop is at such a high level. If they had a more open aperture, the lens would get blinded. It would get flat out blinded if you had a wider aperture at that speed. So that's why it's so dark. Is the aperture is closed so tightly to accommodate for that that incredibly higher f-stop. So that's why that the 9000, and they were in shade, so they didn't really have a lot of natural light to work with. And unfortunately, it's very dark, and particularly when particularly when you get the explosion is just so incredibly bright. If the aperture was open further, you would see nothing. It would just be the flash, and that's it. You wouldn't be able to see any detail of the explosion, I think, if you had the open up the aperture anymore to allow more light in.
Improving them, which is why Handle It Grips hooked us up with these awesome at-home DIY kits. These ones are the Edge series, so these imitate stippling, which can be a cumbersome thing to get done, but not anymore with Handle It Grips. You're gonna be able to do it by yourself. I promise, I believe in you, you can do this. Honestly, I would recommend you do this for all of your EDCs, and even though they're already super affordable, they gave us a discount code to save you even more money. There'll be a link for it in the description below.
Now, bear in mind, Fishy, that is, I'm not overly familiar with high-speed cameras. I have a little bit of knowledge about cameras in general, and I feel like that is the rationale for why you're getting such dark, why the images look so dark at the 9000 frames per second. I could be completely wrong as to why it is, but based on what I know about cameras with f-stops and aperture ratings, I believe that's the reason for it. Did they, Kaiba? I don't think I saw that episode. So if they explained it on Upsub, I may have to look at that episode. Yes, I have Kodiak. I actually posted that on YouTube. Yeah, Xanax. Hang on, let me back this up. Yes, ISO is just another that's another term for the aperture, for controlling the aperture of the camera. It's the same thing. It's ISO is aperture. It's just a shorter way to describe it. Oh, look at that! Look at the rip effects. That looks so cool.
Well, we've done this with a decapitation before.
Right, with what, 50 grain or something?
We think it was 100.
Was it? I don't remember.
So we've got 400, which
Good
is
grief.
as big as they make
Oh,
it.
So
this is gonna be big.
Or 8 times more than before.
Yep, and then...
Chair. Bearing in mind, what they used for the shotgun was 3 strands of 50. That was what they used on the shotgun, and it vaporized the barrel. This is 400 grade. This is almost 4 times as much.
Tread said 1 wrap of this on a tree about that big would blow the tree in half.
And this is just gel.
We have more because we have a larger circumference, and then it's just on a mushy gel.
It's 3 feet.
So what do you think is going to happen?
3 feet for. I think it's going to be a beautiful cut right through the entire
Do you
thing.
think the top half's going to launch into the air?
Nah, I think it's just going to go.
Bloop, bloop. Okay, I say it's going to come up just above the concrete barrier.
Okay, well, we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, we have like 5 cameras.
True.
I definitely think it's gonna cut it in half. I don't think the top's really gonna go that high. I've been wrong on everything today though. Well, we should find out fast because it's melting on this plate.
It's also starting to get cloudy.
Also,
We need to wait for more sun.
Oh,
we got
no.
one big one.
Yeah. All right, let's get ready. Ready?
There we go.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, jeez. There's
Gone.
big chunks everywhere. You should have seen the chunk
Gone.
that went over to them. He is gone.
Oh, he's so done.
Well, chat, that's how you make some chunky salsa.
Oh, it's everywhere.
Nod. I was wondering why the demo guy was saying it would cut in half. I'm like, it's gonna like it's gonna. We saw it happen with a shotgun with just like 150, and it vaporized it.
He's gone.
It kind of looks like a flat cut right there, though.
What is this?
That's one of the organs.
Oh,
One of the organs.
It goes right there. Wowzers.
He's everywhere.
don't worry, Vishrock. The
I mean, his
money
pieces
shots
are
are
on
in slow-mo.
Yeah, I saw that piece come flying.
Oh.
And then from here,
Don't worry.
I saw one go flying over towards you guys. Did
The
you see
good
it?
stuff is gonna
What'd
be
you
the
find, Tread?
slow-mos.
Oh no.
I about guarantee that's the one I saw going over there.
Yeah?
Shoulder?
That's definitely a shoulder.
Shoulder? Okay.
Wow.
That probably went 100 feet
100?
at least.
Wow. So
Wow.
no clean cut.
No.
He was just crushed into oblivion.
Uh-huh.
I don't even remember what my wager was.
Well, we were like, it's gonna go 2 feet up, 4 feet up.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah. There's probably something in them trees. There is, right there. There's some skin hanging.
Oh, you're right.
Oh my
Oh, yeah,
god.
yep.
That's hilarious.
Wow.
It's like a fruit.
Look how red these branches are.
Jesus.
Between these heads and that, these things are coated.
Well, thanks, Tread. That
And chat, that scene from NCIS that I was thinking of, the det cord that Gibbs had was not that much thinner than the 400 grain. He had, if I'm remembering the episode right, he had something akin to about 200 grain. Det cord that he wrapped around the mobster's son. Imagine what would have happened if he detonated it.
That was good.
I think that kind of wraps up this year's trip.
So the lesson learned is 400 grain deck
Oh,
cord.
that's impressive.
It's not survivable.
No.
That is, yeah, science, bitch. Yeah.
A real lesson learned when we do this again next year, most likely, is whatever measurements you come up with, we're going to half them.
Here we go.
Oh. What?
Guy,
Oh, my.
you look at those blast pressure waves. Look at the
Measurements you
blast
come up
pressure.
with, we're gonna
Oh, I
half
wonder how. Yeah, I wonder how much influence that was.
Oh. What?
I wonder how
my.
contributory that was to watching it.
That was not a clean cut by any means.
No.
This is 32,000 frames per second, and one frame later.
Ignition, that.
God.
No way. Look at all those
Whoa,
lines.
Kevin. I mean, it does have internal bone structure. There are internal
What a
bones to
sweet
it.
shot.
He also took a big compression from those
Over and
coming
over and
back
over.
in.
Yeah, by tornado, I know. I'm very aware it turned into mist. There we go.
Whoa, that was crispy. Look at that texture though.
Wow.
That actually comes around at such a perfect pace that this is them colliding
Oh,
together.
you're right. Because we saw
I
that
was
in
trying to
there.
figure it out.
Yeah.
I think that is them
Wow.
coming and slamming together.
Also, the ignition point is bright, and then there's a little bit of a delay, and then it gets hot again. You see that?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
400 grain is terrifying.
Yeah.
This camera is badass.
Gray matter.
Yeah.
Thanks again
Nutty.
to Vision Research, though, for letting us demo this camera. This unlocks another dimension. Like, from the 7-Eleven to this, new dimension. From this to that, yet another dimension.
Yet another. Well, it's really fun for us to wrap det cord around Ballistic Dummy Lab dummies.
Wow,
But
that
our
was awesome.
subscribers should be wrapping themselves in something a little bit more useful for the EDC core. They have all of these belts. They also have tactical belts. They have sunglasses. So they actually just measure it for you. This is what your waist is going to be. They actually cut into this permeable material that they have on the back here. I mean, it's a borderline permanent thing. It's adjustable locking every 1/4 inch. It actually increases the adjustability of the belt by 800%. And one of the worst parts about an appendix carry is trying to sit down with it with that quick release buckle. You can give yourself the room that you need to sit down comfortably. And then when you stand up, And we're back on
Yes,
the move.
Kodiak, I
We
did.
have a link in the description below with a discount code so you can save a little bit of money and you can still carry super comfortably with Core. Back to the video.
Well, that's a wrap on year 2 here at Washington County Machine Guns, hanging out with Tread once again. Such a cool dude.
Yeah.
If you want to take some explosives classes or just come shoot a bunch of guns with your buddies for your bachelor party, this is the perfect spot for it here in Pennsylvania. Tread does nothing but destroy stuff and we love it. This used to be a shotgun and this used to be most of a person.
Yeah.
So yeah, det cord's fun stuff.
Det cord is so much fun.
Drop your ideas below. What do you want us to destroy with det cord? Because I think we're coming back. We got access to better cameras.
There's typically some extra goodies and stuff over on our Patreon. Not everything makes it to the YouTube cut.
Right.
It all gets stuffed over there. It's ad-free, uncensored.
Early.
And then there's also bunkerbranding.com. You can get some of this.
Thanks for watching. Feel free to support us on Patreon to see stuff early, and we'll see you in the next mildly explosive episode. Jesus Christ, I forgot.
Channeling his inner Scots.
Okay.
Wow, that's incredible. Chat, that was awesome. That was amazing to see. Holy cow.